Okay, now we're going to talk about God's game plan for marriage, and the best place to look is in the Bible. And so in Genesis chapter 2 and Ephesians chapter 5, those are the two longest sections that teach about marriage in the Bible. So in Genesis 2, you're going to see three really cool things about marriage. One is that God intends marriage to provide us with a great friendship. Like the first thing in the Bible God says is not good is that man is alone. So in that context, then he talks about marriage. And so that's definitely something we enjoy. Like it's a really good friendship and we do things together, we do life together. That's awesome. So it's meant for friendship, intimacy. Okay. The second one is that Adam is alone in the chapter for a while. And then it says that God wants to provide him a suitable helper. So he's doing God's work and yet he's alone. And so Eve was his suitable helper. It means like a perfect complement. And helper doesn't mean some little domesticated person who does my laundry and cooks my food, but like it's a strong word. It's used of military strength and that God is our helper. So Lori is definitely that for me. We're teammates, do things together. And like you said, God blesses us so that we get to bless other people. So that's a huge part of your marriage. So you get to be teammates to do God's work together.
And that it's a one flesh relationship. So just that physical intimacy is a total bonus too. So, all right. Then in Ephesians 5:21-33.
Yeah, the key there is you'll see Jesus all over that passage. Like Jesus is the key to a good marriage. And so the beginning of that section, Ephesians 5:21 says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. And so what that really means is the husband and wife really need to have an awe of Jesus, like his love, his power. And you're so in awe of him that you're just drawn to him. You follow him, you obey him, you ask him for help. And Lori's got a cool little diagram here to show what happens.
So husband, wife, and then the closer you get to Jesus, the closer you get to each other.
So yeah, being in awe of him, worshiping him, following him, obeying him brings great help to your marriage. And so the greatest gift you can give to each other is your own relationship with Jesus, okay? Then one other thing that happens in that text is you will see that Jesus helps both the husband and the wife do what needs to be done to have a good marriage. So husbands, if you look at verse 25, huge calling. It says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. And so not just telling her you love her, but laying down your life for her. So I am called to lay down my life, sacrifice for Lori, put her ahead of myself. And I'm not called to just do that on my own. I'm called to do that through the power that Jesus gives me. So he loves me. I lay down my life for Lori. That's the plan.
Yeah. And then our job is to respect our husbands. Submit is sometimes used, but again, it's submit to each other. So hopefully we're submitting to everyone. And what I think of that word is you just really want to do what that other person wants. And in a marriage relationship, I really want to follow Doug's lead because he's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be this perfect little constant, do whatever he says by any means, but that's my desire. And it's my desire because of what if Jesus says. So like if Jesus is here and Doug's here, if Doug doesn't deserve my submission, I'm going to do my very best because I want to love Jesus to do it. And the same goes for me. If I am doing something and I totally don't deserve love, Doug's going to try to love me out of obedience to Christ.
So yeah, the power then behind a Christian marriage is it's not going to be, I'm going to wait until Lori's good enough and then I'm going to love her. I'm going to love her like Jesus did. So it has to be an unconditional love. And then Lori's loving me the same way. So bottom line is that Jesus has to be first. He has to help you. That's God's game plan for marriage.